Hey there, this is Derek Henry with XLEV8 Consulting, and in this how-to video we're going to discuss the macro called Bulk Create Nametags. Now this can do a lot of things other than just create name tags, but that's one of the more common uses of it, so that's why it's in the name. But this can do all kinds of things, and we'll walk through what those look like as we go. So to run it, and we're going to use the macro search box to do this, just type for the words bulk create, and in name tags will come up as you start to type. It is based on a settings sheet, so if it does not find the sheet named bulk create name tags, separated by underscores, then it will create it for you. It kind of tells you that right here. This is where you can fill in the different field values and settings, and it lets you create things in bulk. Now, so that you don't have to watch me do that, we're going to go ahead and use this one that's already filled in. So we'll walk through the fields that are required here and then show you a couple of options. It does tell you the instructions in cell A1 when you hover over that. You're going to have a tag number. That is used to name the different sheets that will be cloned, as well as just the order of everything. So what you want to do is first develop a template sheet. Now in this one, the template happens to be a rear view mirror hang tag. So we actually had this idea several years ago. My wife was teaching at a school and they needed to have these tags hanging from the car to indicate what teacher, what grade each student was in, so that they could easily pick them up or drop them off. So they had this template they set up. There's a little picture of their mascot, different grade had different kind of image there, and then they had them on different colored paper, and they print them out, they fold them over and taped them and gave them to the parents. And they said it took days to put this together because there was just so much copy and paste, and inevitably they would get some wrong. And I said, well, if you have a list like this within all the different systems where you track the kids, sure, we could do this easily. And so what I've done is I've taken that approach and I'm making it more scalable, and you can have different use cases. So some of the other use cases you might see with something like this are name tags. You might have multiple things on the same sheet, whereas on that first one it might just have one that you print out and you fold over, or you could have two on the same page. It could be a nameplate like this, where if you wanted to see the print preview, you know, you print this out, fold it over, and that's like a little tent that's at somebody's desk in a training session, or maybe it's on a label for a locker, or the kind of thing you put in your windshield. Just think about all the different things you could do with this when you have to take a structured list and put everything in the same place where the placeholders are. That's the idea here. Now this one's going to print out one thing per page, so this is going to print out on the page. It's going to replace all these placeholders, and the idea is that you fold it over. But you could have one where there are multiples. So if you were going to do that, you might have it look like this. And in this case, you'd want to specify where the first one is, where the second one is, and so forth, because otherwise you'd end up with the exact same values put where the placeholders are. Okay, so that's why you have fields like the range. What range should be replaced? How many items per sheet are there? Is it 1 or is it 8? If it's blank, it'll just assume 1. If this range is blank, it will assume you want to replace the placeholders in the entire sheet. And then you put in whatever fields you want. So you're seeing first and last name, the title, the city, state. And that other one we were looking at, right? You have the school name, the grade, the teacher, the student name, and the year. You can have whatever values you want here. Now, whatever you put as a placeholder in the sheet, notice how it says school name here. That text matches exactly what the header is. That's how it's going to find the placeholder and replace it with all the different values here. You can have as many of these as you want. There are 6 in the default sheet. You can have as many as you need. Just don't put any spaces between them, and it will replace them all. So once you have identified your template, that's over here. Whatever sheet name that is, that's going to go right here, so you can't have more than one. And you put in all these values, then you're ready to go. So you would run it again with that sheet in there. And again, we're going to type in bulk create name tags. It's going to prompt you because this can take a while. It does about 2 or 3 sheets per second. But if you have a couple hundred students or audience members or whatever, that could take a while. So click yes, it'll kick it off. And what it's doing is it's going to clone the template sheet as many times as it needs to, whether there's multiple things per page or just one per page like this one. It's going to replace all the placeholder values. And it's going to repeat that for however many that you have. And then it's going to take all of those and it's going to export them to a PDF file. And the idea there is it's an easy place for you to send that file to a copier or a printer, or maybe something formal like a print shop, and just print it all out. But if you ever need to print just one out, just go to the sheet that corresponds with the person's name or whatever the record is, and print it out. And so I can see over here to the side that it is publishing the PDF file. You know, I can show you what that looks like here. And it's going to say, hey, it's done, and where did that file get saved? So the end result is this. Okay, so you see how we have Kid 1, and we have Kid 2 and 3, etc. This whole PDF was made for us in one step. And it was really easy. You just had to configure what fields you want to see, right, and what the template is. And all these sheets over here are made with the different names if you ever need to print one out individually. And that's all there is to it. So when you have to do something like that, make name tags. Maybe it's for labels. You know, there are all these different label sizes for envelopes and name tags and things. All you have to do is create the template and maybe make sure it's sized right. I would recommend printing a copy out and comparing it to the labels or whatever you're going to print to, just so you don't waste it. But that's all there is to it. Hopefully you see how there's a lot of flexibility in this. It can save a lot of time building things that you print out. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.